a lot of people in Mexico have, you'll find names from all around the world, like along with, what you think of as Spanish, like, your stereotypical Spanish names like Pedro or Jose. You also find some names that are in Nahuatl, like Xochitl is a common name for a girl, and it's the Aztec word for flower. Sometimes you also find people that at least their nicknames are English names, and so if a person is named Pedro, their friends might call them Peter, only with a more Spanish accent, and that's something they do all the time. But then there was this one family I met in one of my areas, and they had named their children with Arabic names, and so the names were a little. I can't think of the names off the top of my head, but they were Arabic names. It was like Harib and his sister's name I don't remember. And so we met these people, and they'd been listening to the missionaries for years. At least the parents had. And so when I got there, they had been listening to him for a while. They hadn't really gotten baptized, but they knew about the Book of Mormon. They'd read it. They'd been to church a few times. They knew some of the members in their neighborhood. But they had a son named Harib who was about my age. He was in his like early 20s, I think, when we met him. And he hadn't really listened to the missionaries for a while. But he started listening right around the time that I arrived. And he, even though he had been the one that had been listening to the missionaries for the least amount of time, he was also when I was there, he seemed to be the most excited about the message. And so we would ask, we would go there and ask him to read the scriptures and read a chapter out of the Book of Mormon, like missionaries always do. And he would say and when we'd come back the next time, he would let us know if he had read it, and if not, then he was more than willing to read with us right then and there and go over the reading with us. And it was really cool because it was this thing that he just really wanted to learn. And even when he would fall back into troubles, like I think he'd had some trouble with trying to stop smoking or stop doing drugs, but even then, he was still trying to keep in touch with us through his parents. And he was just, it was cool to see the turnaround in his life. But by the time I left, he hadn't been able to be baptized because he was trying to recover from these addictions he had. But being able to see these changes in his life was really cool, and it helped me to see kind of how the gospel helps us and how it really can change our lives and help us to motivate us little by little to make improvements and do what we need to do to do better and go back and to live with our Heavenly Father. It was a really cool experience.